Growing up, I come from a very addicted family. My dad was a drug addict, alcoholic. My mom was a drug addict, alcoholic. I'd come home from school, 8 years old, 9 years old, and my mom would be passed out on the ground. I didn't know if she was dead or alive. So I remember one of my friend's mothers knew about the situation in our apartment building, and she told me, she said, put a piece of glass to your mother's nose, and if it fogs up, that means she's breathing, she's alive. Well, I used to do that. I mean, picture that, a 9-year-old kid doing that to his mom, you know, to see if she's dead or alive. And once I, or if I'd seen her chest move, or once I seen that she was alive, then I made myself dinner, which was probably maybe a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
What was your dad?
Or oodles and noodles or something. My dad and my mom were divorced before I could even have the age of remembering anything. I can't even remember them being together. So they got divorced, I think before I was even turned 1. He lived in South Philly. My mom lived in lower northeast, Juniata, Feltonville area. Moved to Kensington when I turned 18 in 1994. But my dad, he same thing. But growing up, when I was with my mom, she would blame everything on my dad. When I was with my dad, she would blame everything on my mom. Yeah, so it's like, who do I believe?
Right.
You know, so at the age of 8 years old, when my mom was like that, my dad said, I remember when my dad would drop me off at home, when I would spend the weekend with my dad, he would say, remember this, you take this train this way, and he goes, well, if your mom's ever messed up like that, you take the R bus to Honey Park, you take the subway from Honey Park to Ellsworth and Federal, you get off and you walk 2 blocks and the house is there. So at 8 years old, I'm traveling SEPTA at who knows what hours. I remember seeing the looks of people, and people coming up to me and asking me, "Are you all right? Where's your mom? Where's your dad?" When my mom was unconscious, and I had no more food to eat, and I knew I needed an adult around me. I remember what my dad told me how to get back down there to him. And then I would go down my dad's by myself at night. Then when I would get down there, he would yell and scream about my mom to me. And I don't even know what the things he was saying. I couldn't even understand the things he was saying. I didn't even know what they meant. And then she would find out that I was down there with him, and then she would come down cursing and screaming and yelling and thinking he took me. But I came down on my own, and then you know, I would go back up there with her, and I remember crying, having to go back up there with her. Right? And then as the years go by, you know, 13 years old, I finished 8th grade. It comes my ninth. High school comes around, and I had no desire to go to high school. And it wasn't like that I didn't want to go to school. See, back then it was like if you didn't have the right clothes or the right sneakers, you would get picked on. And I didn't have the right clothes or the right sneakers. All my clothing that I even had enough dignity to wear were hand-me-downs from my friends. You know, like a lot of my friends had you know, nice sneakers and clothes and all, and the stuff that they wore out, I would wear, because I didn't want to wear Bobos. I would get picked on if I wore them, you know, and that led to fights and stuff that I didn't want to get. So for me at that age, it was easier just not to go to school, you know, and so I never went to high school. then you know, it led me to go into mixed concrete at the age of 14 for a construction company. And at the age of 14, I found myself hanging around adults. So I guess I went from childhood to adulthood overnight, man. Like within a summer. You know, June comes, I graduate 8th grade. September comes, I'm working with adults doing concrete work. And then I was exposed to drinking, I was exposed to drugs. I was kind of like the mascot, the young kid that they had everybody around. That was here, kid, go over here and get us some cheesesteaks. Yo, kid, you know how to drive yet? You gotta know how to drive. I ain't gonna put you behind the wheel. Well, we're gonna teach you how to drive. They would teach me how to drive, and they didn't teach me how to drive for me. They teach me how to drive so I could be their gopher to go make runs for them. So, you know, and then I had then it was like I guess like the best of both worlds. So with my friends that were my age, I was able to get things that they couldn't get. And needless to say, that's drugs. And because I had friends that were adults. And so I played both worlds. And I was pretty good at playing both worlds. And until the world played me, you know, and you know.
So fast forward, because we're about to wrap up. Hold on. So yeah, fast forward. You got yourself together. Now what led you back down this road? Because you say you was clean, right? Not till you relapsed, right? That what you said?
Oh yeah.
Tell me about what happened during the time you relapsed.
Yeah. So I did 12 years in prison.
For what?
Between 2000. Well, multiple charges.
Gotcha.
Well, I guess one of the big ones was it was a bank robbery. The feds didn't pick it up. They turned it over to the state because there wasn't a gun involved. It was a demand note. I'm not saying I'm some kind of like Jesse James, like bank robber, man, coming in, guns blazing. Man, it was just a petty note, man. I wrote a note on a piece of paper, handed it to the bank teller. She gave me the money. 17 days later, I get locked up. So that was one. But between 2000 and 2010, I was only on the streets for about 9 months. And you know, I come home from prison in 2010. I get a good job. I make good money from 2010 to 2012. 2012, July 27th, right? I was off parole paper. I was off paper that day. I had no more parole for the first time in years. I think, man, 15 years, I think. First time I was off paper. And that day, July 27th, I maxed out. I was off paper. That day, July 27th, I had 5 years sober. That day, July 27th, I break my neck in Ocean City, New Jersey, on a wave runner, on a jet ski. At that time, I was engaged to be married. I had my children in my life. Material things, I don't want to get into all that, but I had material things. I had a couple vehicles. I was getting ready to start my own business. I had some type of normal life for the first time in my life. And I was able to take my children who were in junior high at the time. I was able to take them to the store and get them sneakers that I could never get. I was able to do things like that I could never do. You know, and then one strike like that, I break my neck. They didn't even give me time to react in the hospital. I went right into surgery. I came out of surgery, and they put me on a Dilaudid drip. They gave me the trigger. So I didn't make a conscious decision to pick up, but nonetheless I picked up, and you know, the disease of addiction doesn't have our bodies as addicts doesn't know if that drug's coming from a doctor or if it's coming from some guy trapping on the corner. Our bodies don't know the difference to that. And
so what are you struggling out here with now, brother?
Right now, it's Trank.
Right.
You don't know what's in it out here now.
You don't know.
And you know something? I'm 48 years old, and I've been doing this. I've been doing these drugs on and off for since 1994. Back then, you knew what you were getting. You know, you knew what it was. Now you have no idea. It comes up all different colors. You know, and
the saws, the amputation, the wheelchairs, all the things you see now. It wasn't like that back then.
Yeah. There's a good friend of mine right now sitting in the he's sitting
right.
in the bar right now. You know, I don't want to say it too loud.
Right, I hear you.
Because I feel it, but he has his foot down. But he knows when he goes to the hospital he knows that they're going to take the foot. It's already too late. There's no antibiotics can do anything about it at this point. It's already too far gone.
Sheesh.
And
damn, a lot
he's
of
a good dude, man. Dude's a good dude, man. And I feel for him, man.
Right.
And that's why I've been talking to the word. I've been talking to him about the word of God, man. And you know, anything's possible through Christ our Lord who strengthens us. And just because you lose a foot, man, you know, doesn't mean you ain't. There's someone out there that don't have no hands to wipe their butt.
Right. So I just have something I have to tell you, brother, because you know how dangerous that xylazine trank is, and it's put people to sleep. And I see you are operating a vehicle that's dangerous, man. So when you do yours, how do you manage driving?
Oh wow. It's funny you say that. Yeah, it's dangerous.
Yeah.
And it's really irresponsible because I'm not at risk of hurting myself. I'm at risk of hurting someone else around me.
2 of my friends got killed because somebody fell asleep behind the wheel and ran right into them. May their soul rest in peace. He died also. So 3 people died, just not him. And a lot of families are hurt.
It is. And I'm not going to sit here and try to make up any excuses, right? And say, well, that's why I always keep somebody in the car with me. And that's why I do this and that's why I do that. Because, you know, truth be told, if I'm going through any kind of dope sickness, and I'm the only one there, and I don't have a friend with me to help me stay awake, I'm going to take that risk and put everyone else at risk to go down to purchase my drugs. So 2 weeks ago, I just recently picked up. You know, so I guess that's why I'm still shooting basketball. When for leisure time. But I definitely won't be doing this in a couple months from now if I keep getting high.
You already know where it's going to take you. You've been down that road before.
Now, 2 weeks ago, my system was still really clean at the time, and I did something, man, and right away, as soon as I injected it, I knew something was wrong. I knew that it wasn't all fatty, and it was. Sometimes they experiment. They put stuff in it to say, well, let's see how this works. Let's see how this does. Let's see how, and they give it out free too.
Samples, yep.
They give it out free, and you know, there's nothing for free. Believe me.
Yep.
Someone's going to pay a price. So my system's fairly clean at the time, and then I remember, man, I was driving my car, and I'm like, I gotta make it to the park so I can pull over, put the car in park, and try to sleep this off, right? I don't make it to the park. I came to going down a one-way street against the green, right? To a paramedic waking me up in my car. They take the keys out of the ignition and they say, we ain't giving you these keys until you have somebody, you can call somebody, we see you have a working phone, until you call somebody sober to come pick them up. And you only have a short time to do that. A break, the paramedics gave me a break. I don't know if it was because there was no drug paraphernalia in the car. Like I said, I relapsed. I was newly relapsed, picking it up again. You know what I mean? And so I didn't look the part of an addict. I was healthy. I looked cleaner. I didn't have drug paraphernalia in the car, so they weren't sure if I had a diabetic episode or what the case may be. All they know is that I was passed out going against traffic. The car wasn't smashed, which is, I don't even know how that's what I mean.
It's a miracle, man. You had angels watching over you. That's what happened.
I definitely did.
What did you learn from that experience? What did that teach you?
It taught me that well, it's teaching me now that I feel foolish. It just taught me how fast you can how fast you can lose consciousness and end up somewhere where you weren't planning on going.
It happened all the time. You see people, they be talking to you one minute, the next minute they sleeping. So I just want to tell you, man, just be more careful, brother, and we wish the best for you. Do you have any last words before we close, brother? Any short-term goals you have now?
All right, yeah. Short-term goals.
Yeah. What are your short-term goals now?
My short-term goal is to take this couple hours I got in my pocket, and I have two friends of mine in my car right now they haven't ate. We were just talking about they haven't ate a good meal, a real hot meal in a long time. It was a couple months for them. For me, it's been about a week or so. But I was thinking of getting us all something to eat.
That's sweet.
I know this little Spanish spot that has chicken and rice and beans and
yeah. Man, I hope you enjoy your meal, man. I really appreciate you.
But I'm going to rehab.
When?
I'm going to rehab today.
Wow.
If I can make it today, tomorrow. If I can't make it today, tomorrow.
Hey.
But it's on my radar. You see people out there with they have long sleeve shirts on. It's 95 degrees out.
And you know why? The sores is bad, man.
They have long sleeve shirts on, and then you can see the
stains, right?
You can see the blood stains coming through the shirts.
Yep.
And
you don't want to get like that, brother.
I don't want to get like that.
Trust me, it's going to happen
if you don't get like that.
And how long you been back out here now? How many weeks or days?
It's been like 3 weeks.
3 weeks, and the longer you stay out here, the more you're going to fade away into the black hole.
And what it is? The longer you stay out here, the deeper the talons get into you. And it's harder to get away from it.
That part. So he just said it, like what he just said was point on. The longer you stay out here, the more you get stuck. The more your roots start to grow deeper and deeper into the ground. So get the F out before that happened. Brother, what was your name once more? What was your name again? Dominic. The AML family love you, brother. Don't give up on yourself, all right? We'll continue praying for you. Continue getting down on your knees, praying to your Father, all right? He loves you. We love you, but he loves you best, all right? Yeah. All right, fam. Enjoy the rest of your day. It's time for me to take flight. All right, D? God bless you. Bust it, brother. You got to bust it. Let me take a picture of you quick for your cover, all right?